program. First tonight to troubled waters on Flinders Island. A new shipping service takes over the island run in the next 2 months, but it's a journey into controversy. Rod Wallace reports.
For 50 years, this has been the shape of the Flinders Island shipping service. Time has overtaken the romance, and so has controversy.
It's a classic example of bureaucratic theory and impractical politicians.
The people of Flinders Island possibly have been sold short on this.
And there's a lot of things that we don't know about.
Shipping management, Flinders Islanders, even the man who designed the new boat, all with misgivings about the size and shape of the new service. The company running the one ship that serves the island now concedes it's outdated. But company leaders say in choosing its replacement, the government has bungled.
The taxpayers should be having a very good look at this before the next election.
Long-time chairman of the Flinders Island Shipping Company, Leadham Walker, wrote a book that's come to mark the end of his company's era.
The taxpayer of this state will end up paying a terrible amount of tax that has been unnecessary because the costs will rise, the service will not be as good as ours, and it'll finish up being very unsatisfactory, and the shareholder and the taxpayers' money will be lost in the service.
The government decision has cut Leadham Walker's company out of the service. A new boat is being built at Bridport, and the government's opted for a new route. Instead of running from Launceston to Whitemark, up a long, winding river route to a tidal port where the ship has to wait for high tide, the government's gone for a new route, linking Bridport with Lady Barron.
But though the new route will be shorter and will be faster, here's the snag. Bridport is a tidal port, and the critics say on that basis alone, there's a shadow over the plan.
Is it going to be using the right ports? Are the facilities going to be suitable? Are the stock going to be carried in good condition?
James Luddington's misgivings about the new service are widespread on Flinders Island.
The biggest concern we've got, and always had from the start, has been the operation out of Bridport, which is a tidal port. If you leave here with a load of cattle and for some reason or other he misses the tide by an hour, he's got a 10-hour wait before he can get back in the river at Bridport to unload.
We're getting a more modern vessel, a roll-on, roll-off type vessel, which will cut down on loading and unloading times.
But despite their concerns, Flinders Islanders say they're behind the new service, and if they must, they'll work to make it succeed.
It can't be worse than what we've got, and it's got to go better. I just don't think Flinders Island can afford to have a lot of knockers, and I think we're desperately in a recline, and Flinders Island's got to look at where it can go.
The man who's running the service concedes the locals probably have a point.
It's a pretty fair criticism, like it's all new to us. We're new operators, we're new at boat building, it's a new vessel. We've done a lot of research on it to make sure it will work, and we feel quite confident it's going to work. But at the end of the day, it's going to be to wait and see, I'm sure of that.
Matthew Bayles has a $2 million stake in the new venture. Though he's never built a boat before, he's risking everything he owns to put the Matthew Flinders in the water by the end of next month.
They've always run the shipping from Flinders Island. Well, now it's going to be Tasmania-based instead of Flinders Island, so I can understand their queries,
He insists the new boat will do the job. It'll carry 3 times what the Lady Gillian carries. Yet the new boat has drawn criticism even from the man who designed it.
We believe that the choice of the size of the vessel was perhaps too small.
Brisbane-based maritime consultant Stuart Ballantyne says while the design is good, its engines are in pods either side of the keel, the mistake has been in opting for a boat that's simply too small.
We had investigated the matter quite closely, and we had come up with the criteria that a minimum of 50 metres would give them a reasonable window of opportunity. 50 metres is still small for Bass Strait, so I think that it was a bit of a mistake by the politicians in Tasmania to go for the cheap alternative, if you like.
The interdepartmental committee that came together actually recommended it. This is the way to go. It carries enough cargo, it carries enough stock, and it will carry a few tourists.
Neither the retiring Transport Minister Ian Braid nor incoming Minister Sue Napier would talk to us on this. It was left to local MP Tony Bennyworth, and the word is he'll never have to buy a beer in Bridport again.
Is that right?
More votes in Bridport than there are in Flinders Island.
We were a little disappointed after 7 years of lobbying the state government for assistance that Bridport was an option, and we saw that as being political to help along the northeast coast.
It's not a case of pork barrelling?
Oh, I wouldn't have said at all. I mean, if Bayles had said to us he wanted to run it out of Beauty Point or out of Bell Bay, there would have been no trouble at all.
And the new operator says if Bridport doesn't work, he'll move.
If Bridport is uneconomical or unviable whatsoever, you know, we will look somewhere else to go with it. But we much prefer to use Bridport, given the close proximity to Flinders Island.
But the established operators argue the Flinders Island run is special.
And no other place in the world like it, because you've got a very, very dangerous navigational area with some of the worst waters in the world. And Eastern Bass Strait is recognised like that. It is worse than Bass Strait proper.
Neil Pickett is one of those special men, like his father before him. He went straight from school to sea on the Flinders Island run. Now he's master of the Lady Gillian.
Just got to pick your weather to go. That's practically all there is to it.
But even the Lady Gillian's experienced crews have been caught. 2 years ago, her wheelhouse was smashed.
She didn't ride up over one, and one come straight through and took out the starboard side of the wheelhouse. And I lost all power, and I managed to get some power to the VHF and got in contact and got home. Got in under our own steam, and everything was all right. No one was hurt or anything like that.
But it can be pretty nasty.
Oh, it can be, yeah. It can be very nasty actually. Like for a little boat like this.
The shipping service is the lifeblood of Flinders Island. The Lady Gillian carries everything from matchboxes to bulldozers. When it goes off the run, 18 people are out of work. The company assets are for sale.
This company really doesn't have a future. I think you've got to be realistic.
But in that, there's bitterness.
This Groom government to our company has been dishonest and deceitful.
Leadham Walker says despite 40 years of service and government rules denying his company's shareholders dividends, the government has sold it short, deliberately cut it out of the new service and been intent on destroying it. The government says no. It gave the company 3 separate opportunities to tender.
It really wanted the government to provide a $6 million vessel. Clearly that's out of the question.
And the claim then that you have been deceitful and dishonest?
Oh, totally rejected. In fact, the Flinders Strait Shipping Company was given ample opportunity, as I said, to come back and talk to the government about what it really wanted.
The outcome has been the end of an era. Early in December, when the new boat starts, the Lady Gillian will make her last run to Flinders Island. Whether the new service works or not, the end of the Lady Gillian will be the end of a living link with Tasmania's seafaring past.
Rod Wallace on the contentious Flinders Island connection.
The 35-metre Matthew Flinders will trade between Bridport, Flinders Island and Port Welshpool. It's commissioned to do 1 crossing a week and was made possible by a commercial loan to the Bridport company, Southern Shipping, from the TDR. It took 176 days to build and at one stage employed up to 28 locals. According to Matthew Bayles, responsible for the project, everything's gone without a hitch.
The project's gone very well. There's been no real headaches at all. Once we started construction, it's gone pretty smoothly.
When do you expect to have her in the water and when do you expect her to start trading?
It'll go in the water on the 26th of this month, and hopefully 2 weeks after that we should be up and trading.
The price of real estate on Flinders Island has increased lately, and the new shipping service is sure to assist the island community.
Hopefully it's going to improve the economy, given the fact they'll be able to get their gear and freight and stock off and on a lot quicker. More regular service should be a fair asset to them, I'd say.
Meanwhile, tenders closed today for the sale of the Lady Gillian, the ship presently in use. Peter Sharp, Win News.